The alarm shrieked through the diplomatic quarters at 0300 hours, sending every Calvaxian guard into high alert. On the security monitors, the situation was clear and terrifying. 7 Vrexian predator cubs, each the size of an earth wolf, with razor-sharp claws and teeth designed to tear through reinforced steel, had breached containment and now circled the bed where the human ambassador slept. Get them out. Commander Thrace's scales rippled with panic as he watched the screens. Now before those creatures, we can't. Lieutenant Morax's voice trembled. Vrexian cubs at this age are at their most aggressive. They attack anything that moves. We've lost 3 handlers this year alone. On the screen, Emma stirred first, her eyes opening slowly. The nearest cub, a gray-furred juvenile with amber eyes, growled low, its muscles tensing. The sound would have frozen any Calvaxian in their tracks. The diplomatic quarters held its breath. Emma sat up and every guard expected screaming, running chaos. Instead, she yawned. Elijah, she whispered, nudging the man beside her. Elijah, wake up! Elijah groaned, rolling over. What time is it? I don't know, but we have visitors. The cubs circled closer, their growls intensifying. The largest, a black-furred male with scars already marking his muzzle, bared its fangs. Its hunting instincts were triggering. The guards knew what came next, the pounce, the bite, the feeding frenzy. Emma, don't move. Commander Thrace's voice boomed through the intercom. We're preparing tranquilizer drones, but you must remain absolutely... Emma swung her legs off the bed and stood up. The control room erupted in horror. She's dead, Morax whispered. She's dead and the Galactic Council will blame us, but Emma didn't run. She walked directly toward the largest cub, the one with murder in its eyes. She crouched down to its level. Hey there, big guy, she said softly. How did you get out of your enclosure? The cub's growl faltered. Its ears twitched. Elijah was sitting up now, rubbing his eyes. Are those the Vrexian cubs from the zoo level? Yeah, Emma replied, reaching out her hand slowly. The cub sniffed cautiously, its predatory instincts warring with something else. Curiosity. Someone must have left a door open. Protocol states, Commander Thrace began, but his words died as he watched Emma's fingers touch the cub's fur. The creature didn't strike. Instead, it leaned into her hand, a rumbling sound emerging from its chest. Is it purring? Lieutenant Morax asked in disbelief. Elijah had gotten out of bed now, approaching another cub, a smaller brown one that had been preparing to pounce. He scratched behind its ears and the cub's aggressive stance melted away. Within seconds, it had rolled onto its back, demanding belly rubs. You guys are just babies, aren't you? Elijah cooed, obliging the creature. Just big, scary-looking babies. Within 5 minutes, all 7 cubs had abandoned their hunting formation. They climbed onto the bed, curled up against Emma and Elijah, and began to settle down for sleep. The largest cub had claimed Emma's lap, while 3 others piled on top of Elijah. The scene looked less like a predator attack and more like a domestic pet show. Commander Thrace stared at the monitors in silence. Finally he spoke. How? Sir, I don't understand either, Morax admitted. Those cubs have killed trained handlers. They're apex predators. They shouldn't even recognize humans as anything other than prey or threat. An hour later, after carefully extracting the now sleeping cubs and returning them to their reinforced enclosure, Commander Thrace met with Emma and Elijah in the conference room. I must ask, Thrace began, his translator struggling with his bewilderment. What did you do? What human technique subdued those creatures? Emma and Elijah exchanged glances. We didn't subdue them, Emma explained. We just treated them like animals. They are animals, Thrace insisted. Deadly ones. Sure, but they're also babies, Elijah added. Back on Earth, we have predators too. Wolves, lions, bears, things that could definitely kill us. But we learned a long time ago that most animals, even predators, respond to calm behavior and gentle touch, especially young ones. But the aggression, Morax interjected. The hunting instincts were probably triggered by fear, Emma interrupted. They're cubs. They found themselves in a strange place, surrounded by unfamiliar scents and sounds. They were scared, so they acted tough. Once they realized we weren't a threat, they calmed down. Thrace's scales shifted colors, a sign of deep confusion among his species. On Calvax, when we encounter predator cubs, we maintain distance. We use barriers, weapons, containment fields. The idea of touching them... Yeah, we figured, Elijah said with a slight smile. Look, humans have this weird relationship with predators. We respect them, sure, but we also domesticated wolves into dogs. We keep big cats as exotic pets, not always a great idea, but we do it. We've learned to read body language, to understand behavior. It's kind of our thing. Over the following weeks, the story spread throughout the Galactic Council. The humans who walked into a circle of predator cubs and emerged unscathed. The species crazy enough to pet creatures designed by evolution to kill. But for Emma and Elijah, it was just another Tuesday. Because humans, they'd learned, had spent millennia turning the most dangerous predators on their world into companions. Compared to that, a few scared cubs were nothing. And when the Vrexian cubs were returned to their homeworld, they carried with them a scent memory that would confuse xenobiologists for generations. The smell of the humans who had shown them kindness when the entire galaxy expected terror. Sometimes, being human meant being the crazy ones who'd pet anything, even when no one else dared.